Welcome to the IAM Power Hour, where personal growth meets empowerment.
I'm Terry, and we're here to inspire, challenge, and help you transform your mindset.
And I'm Stacie. Today we're going to be talking about what's your why? Reigniting passion and purpose at any age, plus everything in between.
So let's get started and ignite the power in you.
Welcome to the IAM Power Hour. I'm Stacie, and I'm here with Terry, and we today are going to be talking about what's your why. And a lot of people really don't know what their why is, and all that means is that if you have a goal, you have a why behind it. So today, let's talk about what your why is. So Terry, have you ever really set a goal, but possibly never achieved it?
Yes, I have. I think we all have, at one time or another, and it could be something as simplistic or maybe as simplistic as losing weight.
I'm gaining weight.
And we've all been down those roads, haven't we?
Oh, yes.
Or another. Or I'm going to get in shape. And, we set a lot of those goals, too, at the first of the year, even.
Because I made a New Year's resolution.
And we were like, okay, this year I'm going to get in shape. This year I'm going to X, Y, and Z. But, yes, we all have those where maybe we never achieved it. Understanding your why really is going to make the difference. And I truly, truly believe that. And I think we've all been there, and maybe we've questioned, what is my why? What is my purpose? And Stacie, I'm hearing that more and more as the days go by, that a lot of people are like, I think I have a purpose, but I just don't know what it is.
I think everybody contemplates that at one point in their life, right? I mean, like, what's the purpose? Why are we here? What's it all about?
In life, what is your purpose?
And I think finding your purpose is very important, at least to some people. It's very important to me.
And, even Stacie, when I was a child, I had this feeling that I was here for a reason.
I take it we're here for a reason.
But even throughout my life, that is one memory I've held on to that I've always remembered. And I do believe we're all here for a reason or a purpose. I truly believe that in every ounce of my being. We're all here, and we all have unique skills and abilities, and we all have a purpose for being here. But I think one of the biggest things that I've found is having that willingness to grow, to find that meaning in life of how we can help ourselves and improve ourselves, and then helping others to do the same.
Let me help you.
Well, Terry, I will have to agree with you. I think we all do have a purpose. I don't think all of our purposes are grand, right? I think some people get kind of lost in that, what is my grand purpose?
I wonder what my purpose is.
And the purpose may be just as simple as being a friend.
That's what friends are for.
And I think too, people consider their purpose as maybe what their job is. And they're like, this really isn't what I think I should be doing.
Should I really be doing this? No.
And it's not so much about the money as it needs to be about the meaning. Creating those titles that you put on your desk or on your door, or checking all of those boxes and doing what maybe you felt that others expected you to do.
What the hell you expect me to do, man? What do you expect me to do?
Is something that is based on other people's opinions, but we all have something deep within us that if we're willing to listen, that we truly can recognize about our own power, because we have everything we need within us if we're only truly willing to listen and let go of some of that extra outside chaotic noise that's going on.
Yeah, so sometimes I think, though, if you think purpose, you could almost correlate it to your passion. too.
Yes.
Like, what are you passionate about?
This is my passion project.
Yes, yes. And you know, we all have that why, whether we want to admit it or not. But, you know, here's the truth. I don't think that you have to really try to keep searching out there for those things, that noise, that chaos, everything that's going on around us to find that why. It's not like it's out there somewhere and eventually one day you're going to find it. I do believe that you have to remember it. You know, that's the thing. It's already inside of you. You know, the expectations of what you're supposed to do. And even when we're working with our kids, a lot of times we'll say to our kids, what do you want to be when you grow up? So we're pushing all of that out there and trying to get them to understand their why, when it's already the gifts, the passions, the things that we already have within us, if we're just willing to listen and to get back in tune and in touch with ourselves. But find out, you know, what those challenges, those experiences were that you used to have or that you've been through, and how have you become more resilient? How have you grown through that? What are the things that light you up? What are the things that maybe people naturally come to you for? You know, these are things that we can all begin to do. And even with me, what is it that you could talk about for hours and hours and hours?
What are you talking about?
Yeah, I think if we slow down and we think along those lines of those types of questions, which I think are gold, by the way.
It's a sparkly, shiny.
The why, right, can also come from not only joy, but it could also come from pain, too. The pain is connected to the joy. So it's something that kind of flows easily together that can really help you get rooted and rediscover your why and why you're here and why you're doing what you're doing.
Why am I doing this?
Years ago when I started on that journey and I started turning my life around, and then after, you know, some losses in my personal life and then career transitions and moving and all of these things, I had to stop asking, what do I need to do now? And I had no one to depend on, as, you know, I'd lost my parents and they'd always been there, the one to kind of guide me and the ones to kind of turn to. And when I felt all alone.
Here I am, all alone.
I was like, now what do I do? You know, who am I going to be? How am I going to do this? And I had to start remembering. And so I changed that question of what do I do now to who am I called to be?
Who am I supposed to be?
Well, sometimes, you know, finding your why, kind of like you were just saying, you know, it's not very loud. It doesn't come with, you know, like confetti and flashing lights, you know, going, hey, here I am. This is your why. You know, it's quiet and it's peaceful, and it could be just that slight whisper, right? That comes down, and if you could just sit down and breathe and listen, it's always there. It's waiting for you to go, that's it.
I'm waiting for you.
And I truly believe, and you know, you and I are Abraham Hicks fans, and she's always saying, you're always going to be working on this and you're never going to get it done. But we're always in that state of becoming, you know, and we just have to get honest with ourselves. And, you know, you have to get away and cut out all the excess noise, the extra noise that's around us, and get still and be quiet and ask yourself, you know, what is it that lights me up? And go back over some of those questions that we just talked about that you even said was gold. But, you know, who am I becoming? What do I want to do while I'm on this journey of life? And these types of questions and getting in tune with that is going to help you to become a better version of yourself. And really and truly, even Dr. Wayne Dyer said at one point in time, our children don't come from us, they come through us because their life's longing for continued growth and yearning to continue to grow.
It's nothing that stops. Sometimes you can definitely feel disconnected from it. I know sometimes I do, or uncertain, or, you know, like something's missing.
What's missing?
I believe that's a big signal, right? That is your stop sign to go,
Stop!
pause, time to truly remember, what matters to you most. Get back to that core.
Absolutely. And getting in alignment with yourself. And of course, we've talked in the past. Those things you can control. But knowing what you're feeling, knowing what you're thinking, and getting rid of some of that outside noise. And what I'd like to do is kind of talk about some of the things that may even hold us back from some of this. I mean, let's be honest about it.
Can I be totally honest with you?
We're born and we're nurtured as an infant, and then we grow up, and as we continue to grow, then everybody starts saying, well, you need to do this and you need to do that, and this is what you're supposed to do. And we start taking in all of these kinds of, limiting beliefs, and we start thinking I'm not good enough, or I'm not smart enough.
Okay, you are smart.
Or I don't have the resources, but we've been made to feel this way based on others' opinions. And, the goodness of our parents, and they thought they were doing the best that they could at that particular time.
I mean, I'm doing the best that I can.
And maybe it's a state of where they were coming from. But for us, we don't have to be put in that box.
Bring me out of this Frankenstein box!
And, to begin to break through some of those limiting beliefs that maybe have been instilled in us, and we continue to let them run through our minds. These are filters. They're based on other people's opinions.
That's your heart. That's your truth.
But we take them to heart, and we allow that to continue to even run through our mind.
Yeah, but it's also something that, if we learned it growing up, but we can unlearn it as an adult. I mean,
It took me years to unlearn that.
The truth of who we are at our core based on our own life experience is bigger than the stories we keep telling ourselves based on what was told to us growing up. And I know I fall into that trap a lot. And there's been a lot of work I've had to do to kind of shut that down within myself and break free from it.
Break free from the chains.
My truth and my story of how I'm living right now is better than those stories that I used to tell myself.
My story's better. It has tigers.
Yes, and all of this is a practice, but it's basically getting down to your why. I mean, one of those things, even for you with your why, is you love gardening and you love camping and you love being outdoors. And this is not any big grand gesture. It's just your why of appreciating that. And, these are all great things that we can all do. Everybody's why doesn't have to be, a Grammy Award winning stage actor.
I would like to award you the highest honor I can bestow.
And that's all based on something that has been created back in the last, 60 years with movies and things like that. I could be a little off with my time. But before then, what did people have a why for? And it's not about just being rich and wealthy. Your why is much deeper than that. And could we even be self-sabotaging ourselves even with that?
Yeah. Well, fear likes comfort, right? So your fear will definitely self-sabotage yourself because it wants kind of that energy to keep you fearful. But
I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm scared.
Growing, that lives kind of just outside that comfort zone.
I grow inside.
Right? Yeah. A lot of people are fearful to get out of that comfort zone because it's the only thing that we know.
It's the only way I know things.
But step outside of it. Give yourself that opportunity to see what is outside of this, right? Of what I'm here in my own brain, and grow a little.
You better get out of your own way.
Okay.
Have that willingness to LNT, learn new things, grow within yourself. This is where you're going to find your why. But getting out of your comfort zone, none of us were here to put in a box. And just like the old song, I love it, love it, love it. And I used to go around even in the office and sing it from time to time. And maybe you've heard it, maybe you haven't, but oh, give me land, lots of land on the starry skies above.
Young
stop allowing other people or yourself to put yourself in a box.
True, but now, first, I'm going to say I've never heard of that song, so that's probably before my time. And second, what other people think about you is really none of your business.
It's none of my business. And it's none of yours.
Don't worry about what other people think about you, because everybody has their own opinion.
Yes.
And, all that can do is just drive you crazy.
I'm going mad.
What you think of you, of yourself, when you look in that mirror, and what you're telling yourself in that reflection of mirror, mirror on the wall.
Mirror, mirror on the wall.
That's everything. It's not what I think of you, what Terry thinks of you, what your parents think of you, or a coworker, or even your kids, right? It's what you see in the mirror every day and you tell yourself.
And I hear that a lot. When you go and you ask somebody, maybe, can you help me with this? Or do you have a few minutes that I can talk to you about X, Y, and Z? And I used to be in sales, and this was always the greatest thing. I'm too busy right now.
Please go away. I'm busy.
That's the best excuse ever that anyone ever gave you. I'm here to try to help you, but you're too busy right now because you've already, boom, sabotaged yourself before you even maybe allowed yourself to get outside of that box. And then we're all into that. Are we chasing that money or that meaning?
But what's really, though, important to understand, and I think a lot of people kind of let go of it, your why is always there, and it's waiting for you to come back, return to it, revisit it.
I'm waiting for you.
It might take you a little bit of space, give yourself some grace and a little bit of quiet.
Be cool, be quiet, be quiet.
And just reconnect to it. Whatever that looks like to you, but it's waiting for you. It's waiting for you to find it again.
Wait for me! I'm here.
So don't give up. That's what I have to say. Don't give up.
No, and you mentioned waiting for you, and that made me think of a song. There's a song about that, isn't it? I will be right here waiting for you. But it is. It's waiting for you.
Richard Marx,
all you
actually.
have to do is remember. Who sang it? Did you say?
Richard Marx. It's a 1980 song.
That's it.
Yeah.
You know me well enough, Stacie. I'm going to break into song if a lyric hits me on somebody's words. And so there's that one. But it's patiently waiting for you. All you have to do is remember and listen and allow and ask those questions that we asked earlier on.
What can I do? What can I do? What can I do?
I love this. This is absolutely, reconnecting with self. That's truly the most important thing that many of us can do, is instead of disconnecting or listening to all the outside noise and all the outside interference or carrying that within our mindset, is letting go and disconnecting and getting back in connection with the truth of who you are. And I think that's one of the biggest things that we can all begin to do to figure out what's our why.
Yeah, very, very true. And then what's then important after you rediscover your why is staying in alignment with it, right? Staying connected with it. And that's when the challenge really begins, because how do you stay in line with a why when life can be so messy?
Messy. It's really messy.
Yes.
Constantly throwing things at you left and right to kind of knock you off your keister.
I'll knock your block off.
But if you can stay in line with it, the whole world can open up to it.
There's a whole world of opportunity opening up in front of us.
Yes. And again, everything does get messy, but there's no perfection here. No one is perfect. Not you, not me, not anyone that's listening.
No one is born perfect.
Are we willing to even admit that, though? Because we have so much fear even about that. But just paying attention of what shows up each day in your mindset, or maybe some of those little signals or symbols or things that maybe are just these little gentle reminders. Again, it's a whisper. It could be a flicker of a candle, but you have the opportunity to turn that flicker into a flame if you're willing to listen and move in that direction. And we can do that even by, those visual anchors, if you will. Affirmations are huge, act as if, live as though you already have whatever it is and begin to grow into that. Put those affirmations, write things that are empowering for you on the mirror or on your visor or in your wallet or somewhere where you can see them and remember them and even state them out loud. These are things that we can all do, and keeping it visible is key. So there's a reminder for you to help you to move even in toward what's your why.
Let me remind you.
Having that simple reminder that I could come back to and remind myself, hey, it's okay. It's, you're safe, you're fine. Just keep on this path is a big win for me.
Absolutely. And I think that's very important. And again, this life is a journey, and even being able to find your why or to make improvements for yourself, all of that begins in mind, body, and spirit, and having that alignment within yourself and realizing, who am I becoming in this journey? There's that. And I did a training this week, and I even talked about there's that moment when we were born and that date, and then there's that date of when we transpire. And so there's that dash in between. So what are we doing in that dash? Are we working to improve ourselves, get in alignment, find our why, find our purpose, and continue to grow that? Because when we do, we feel better, and then we help those around us even to feel better and lead a more purposeful meaning of a life.
Making her feel good makes me feel good.
So I absolutely love this. I think this is, beautiful of being able to even have this conversation with you today, Stacie, and hopefully it will help a lot of others too.
This has been incredibly helpful.
Mindful moments of honesty with yourself. It also takes some very small but very soulful steps, right, to progress forward. Yes. It doesn't have to be loud. It's not anything that, you need to shout from the top of the mountain. It's sometimes quiet, but they're also very encouraging choices that you take throughout your journey.
Fantastic. You're making the right choice.
And having that willingness to do that. And having that willingness to learn new things about yourself, because we didn't come here knowing everything about ourselves. It was our job to remember that.
Yeah.
But grow into it.
Yeah, but it's also the willingness to act, right? To act on it. Just because we're learning something, you got to act on it too.
And with that, that's even, there's so many people when they come to the end of their life.
Yeah, I have regrets.
That they say that they have regrets, but do we want to get to that end of our life and say, I sure regret that I didn't follow my passion or my purpose, and that I didn't fulfill some of that? And so even finding and taking the time to find your passion, your purpose, your why, so that when you come to the later stages in life, you have something to look back on and be proud of what you did and what you accomplished and the legacy, if you will, that you're leaving. But we all just could take the time to listen and make those choices, to get outside of that fear box, and even be able to surround yourself with people who are supportive of you, not those that want to hold you back or bring you down or help you to even create more self-sabotage within yourself, but that support system. And it might not be from your family. It may be from a support group or someone else who's trying to improve themselves, and you all lean on one another to support you and to be able to talk about those dreams and those passions, or even help you to develop those for yourself because they've already been there and done that. So I think even having a support system is key to a lot of this as well.
As that saying goes, like, how's it go too?
Takes a village.
Takes a village, right? And it's very true. It takes a village, and you need to find your people. And your people may not be the people you think they are. They could be somebody completely different. And I think going back to my garden reference, is that you need to weed your own garden.
They even weeded the garden.
Right? You need to let go of those voices, let go of those beliefs that are dimming your own light inside.
Yes.
And be able to let that light,
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it
shine through, because you never know. You even might be a light for somebody else that's going to be looking at you going, oh my gosh, this person's got it together. They know their why, they know their purpose, they got their bucket list together, they're doing it.
Yes.
I want to be like that.
And I even stated even again this week in one of my trainings, it just came out, and I was talking about, kindness and respect in the workplace and judgment and things like that. But and what you just mentioned has reminded me that this statement is so powerful yet true. Blowing out someone else's candle does not make yours shine brighter. Don't allow other people to blow your candle out, because it's not going to make theirs shine brighter.
Blow out the candles! Blow out the candles!
But also, don't you be doing that either. It's time to turn that flicker of that candle inside of you into a flame.
That's right. I think also being able to grow that flame within you is to be able to kind of reflect, right? Revisit yourself, refine your why. It doesn't always have to be the same. Your why grows as you grow. As your life changes, your why can change. Yep. And that's okay. It's not about figuring it all out at one time. It's all about staying connected to what really matters to you at the core. I am a big believer that if your heart is happy, if it feels good in your heart, you are doing what you are supposed to be doing.
Oh, how does your heart feel?
If you're doing something and it doesn't feel good, man, you better stop.
Stop!
You better take a look at it again and realize I am not doing what I am supposed to be doing.
Oftentimes we want to make snap judgments and decisions based on the ego and the mindset of what we have. But if we'll just take the time to breathe and to think about, what is my gut saying? What is my heart telling me? Whatever the case may be, that emotional guidance system, that EGS we've talked about in the past, as my grandfather told me, and I wrote it in the book, if you will always go right, you'll never go wrong. And when I was a kid, I would take that literally, and I was like, well, Papa, if I always kept going right, I'm going to keep going in a circle. Because we take things literally.
Left turn!
But what he really meant was, and as I got older, I recognized that, is if I will listen to my heart, my guidance, I will make the right and best decision for me at the time, and I'll never go wrong. And so even with that, taking that into account.
Your heart is, I think, your best thing to follow. I know people say, listen to your gut. Your gut is connected to your heart, and your heart is one of the best things that you know, right? That you can follow, that's going to never let you down. It's always going to guide you in the direction that you need to go, which is funny that we're talking about the heart, because it's our fourth chakra in our series of talking about chakras today, and it's our heart chakra. And the heart chakra, if you don't know where that is, put your hand over your heart as you're saying the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance.
I pledge allegiance.
Right there. It's right in the middle of your chest. And it's probably, I think, one of our strongest chakras, because it has everything to do with compassion, friendship, overwhelming love, to be able to focus in on and be joyful about. And some of these affirmations that we've been talking about to continue to add to your daily affirmations, and hopefully you've been following and doing the I ams and the I feels and the I do's. And this one is I love. It's probably one of the most powerful ones that we can ever speak to ourselves. I am a big believer in telling myself that I love myself unconditionally.
We love unconditionally.
Because that has always been a struggle for me, and being able to tell myself that, know that it's been pretty powerful. And also another one that I'd love to say is I love who I am. Do you have any I love affirmations that you'd like to tell yourself, Terry?
Yes, I do. I love where I've come from, and I have that gratitude for it. But also I love who I am becoming.
And one of the best crystals for this chakra, the I love chakra, is the rose quartz. They're very easy to find. They're beautiful. I love my rose quartz. And they're connected directly with the heart. And it really helps with friendship, unconditional love, and just your overall well-being of, I love who I've been, I love who I am, and I love who I'm going to be.
I love it. I love it, Stacie. Oh, mercy.
It's all about the love today.
It's all about the love. And your purpose is all about the love. And I truly believe that. And your why. Hang on and turn that flicker into a flame. Get quiet and break through some of those limiting beliefs and fear-based thinkings and all of that kind of stuff. And you will find it. Take that time to reflect. I love it. I love it. And also going through these chakras and getting the awareness of how that can help you as well. Stacie, this has been a great, great show of finding your why, or what's your why, and also reigniting your passion and purpose at any age. I love this.
And we're hoping you are walking away with some inspiration and maybe even a new perspective.
Ooh. And make sure you like, subscribe, and even share with someone who might appreciate and enjoy this. We would love to hear from you. So drop a line in the comment below. And so until next time, keep shining. That's right. Stay curious. And as always,
own your power.
Own it. Own it. Own your power. I love it. Thank you so much, Stacie, and I will see you the next time. You all have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you again soon.
Bye, everyone.
You have been watching the I Am Power Hour with Terry J. Walker and Stacie Staton. Make sure you drop a comment below, like, subscribe, and share. Thanks for watching.